Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm Wood. In this series we're comparing two accounts that I started at the same time on the same day, and I'm playing the same way with one major difference. One account is free to play, the other has a monthly spending budget of $50. I don't remember what day it is, but it's Champ Chase Day. We're going to pull some shards and some soulstones and, whatever else we have. Thank you for joining me today. First thing I'm going to do is go in and check what day we're on. I don't remember. It's been a couple days since I've done a video. I've been a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for my voice if that's something that comes through. So we're day 86 on the free-to-play versus the budget experiment. Free-to-play has a green border around it. The budget account will have no border. And my main account, which I will go into my main account just to do the shards afterwards, in case that's interesting to everybody. I'll let you know when the break is going to be, and so I'll come in here to the main account at the end. But mainly on the free-to-play, we were able to get one prism done on the free-to-play account. We got through the Sand Devil tournament, and we're able to get the crystals for that. We were able to get the coins for the Serpent Titan event in the Dungeon Divers, but we weren't able to get all the way up to the prism crystals. It was just sort of out of reach for us. But on the budget account, we were able to get that. We do have 2 prism shards to pull on the budget account. We were hoping for 2 times voids this weekend, and because it is, we will be pulling some void shards. I don't know if I'll pull all of them. On the free-to-play account and on the budget, we're not going to go all the way to milestone 5. We're in 4 right here, and that's a lot of points to get for the amount of time we have left on the event. The 4th star may not be within reach for us. It's really probably going to depend on what we get. We have been doing some champ training since we finished the spider tournament that was epics only. You can see there's a couple hours left on it at the time I'm recording this, and yeah, you can see for the free to play we're in first place here. Now I'm assuming that at least these 2 players will probably try and snipe me, and I'm probably going to let them. I don't know. It's a tough one. The way I feel, I'm probably going to let them, but I may not. I may come back after I'm done recording this video. I'll probably go back and look and see what I need to do to stay ahead. But we do have the Champ Chase tournament right now. 4,200 is a lot of points for these 150 coins. But yeah, there's 200 coins available. If we do go for all of them, that's going to put us at close to 900. It'd be nice to reach up and get this legendary book. So we may go, we may try and go for that. But it's going to be tough, and it's going to depend on what we get. Just because it's 2 times voids does not mean that we are going to get even an epic out of these 9 void shards. And I'm not willing to risk pulling other shards and possibly missing, a future fusion or another 2 times weekend or something. I could pull some ancient shards, but ancients probably should be coming up. 2 times ancients probably should be coming up pretty soon, and I'm not sure I want to do it. The risk is that we won't get anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the prism that we do have, and this is a good pool. I'm happy going for this Lizardman pool, and obviously the prize here is Lagat Teox. He's really the main draw for this prism. This is like pulling a legendary shard, but with no mercy. And so I've never purchased these before. I don't think it's a good investment just because there is no mercy. I have seen some people get incredibly lucky. Somebody in my clan for my main account, he got the 2 prism crystals. He pulled a Nekmothar and a Lagat Teox. Like that would just be, that's a beautiful 2 pulls for someone for prism. So I know luck can happen, lightning can strike, it can even strike twice, but I'm not I've never been a fan of purchasing these crystals, but it's fun that they do give us at least a chance for 1 or 2 of them every time they do these. So I'll go ahead and pull this first one. I'm a little nervous. Let's see what we get. Lizardman has been kind of a sort of a weak spot for us. Oh, good. Hey, Aox, to remember, is a really good champion. He's a solid one for us. That's really good. If you don't know, Aox does some poison on his A1. It's not a high % chance to place, so he doesn't place them very often. It goes up to 30% for each hit. Each hit is 30% chance for a 5% poison. It's not a great one, but this Lore of Restoration skill on his A2, he attacks one enemy and he heals all allies by 10% of their max HP. So it's not the best heal because it's based on each individual champion's max HP. So if you've got a nuker or something who really needs the healing, it's only going to be based on their max HP, which, you know, a nuker could be anywhere from 30 to 70,000, which isn't really a lot. But he heals each ally by an extra 2.5% for each debuff on the target. So whoever he hits, if you're manualing with Aox and you're using this A2, you want to target the Hydra head or the enemy champion or the minion or whoever who has the most debuffs on them, because it does more healing based on that. And that's one that I always forget. You know, that's one of those things I always forget. But Aox can be used pretty well in Clan Boss because he has decreased attack on his A3. This book's down to a 3-turn cooldown. He places a 50% decrease attack for 2 turns, and then he also does decreased crit rate. Well, the thing about most bosses in this game, and this is changing now, but the 30% decreased crit rate, the cool thing about that is most of the bosses have a 15% crit rate. So if you get this on there, they're not going to crit anybody. And like I said, it's a 2-turn that books down to a 3-turn cooldown. So if you get him fast enough, if you get him like a 3-2 ratio with the boss, then he can keep this on constantly. The other cool thing about him is this passive that he has. He increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn when attacked. So every time the clan boss hits him, for example, if that's where you're using him, and that's where a lot of people do use him, it increases the duration of some debuffs on that boss or the champion, whoever hits him. And then he also has accuracy in Doom Tower battles. You can use him in some places in Doom Tower if you're kind of early game. I have used Aox on my main account. He actually can be really good for Iron Twins too. Iron Twins is another really good place to put him. If he had decreased speed, that would be perfect, but he doesn't. But yeah, Iron Twins is a nice place to put him because if you're using a burn strategy, for example, with the Geomancer or something, you know, every time he gets hit, he increases the duration of hopefully that burn if you don't have too many debuffs on him. But when he's putting poisons on, and if he lands those, then you know, then you might have trouble with that. Then it may not increase the duration of or the right debuff. But he's a really good champion. That's a good one. Not gonna complain about that one. The other cool thing about this champion chase tournament is that it gives us some souls. And I've been having a lot of fun. Doing champ training and opening souls on my main account. I haven't opened any souls on this account, but doing the Deck of Fate, because the Deck of Fate, the rewards are really good. It's necklaces and banners. There's no rings in here, but the protection accessories are really good, and they're hard to get. We're really only just doing early stages of Hydra. I finally did get a Hydra chest on the budget account. I haven't gotten one on the main account yet, but now they kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, whoa, we actually can do Hydra now. I did get some Mithrala fragments for the first time on the budget account, so that was nice. But yeah, you can see here that I've already gotten a legendary book, a 6-star speed glyph, which is great, and then some of these serpent points, and then you know this pendant. So. Or this amulet, yeah, it's the amulet. I'm gonna go in here and look really quick and see what that amulet is. So it's a Dark Elves defense amulet with accuracy, resistance, and HP. If you're going to get a defense amulet, these are the stubs. Oh, and you can't see that because I'm in the way. Sorry. If you are going to get a defense amulet, and I don't really value defense amulets that much. I'd much rather have HP amulets. Rather than defense. To me, defense amulets are kind of like a lower tier version of even an attack amulet, which you don't really want either. If you're building somebody for damage, you want crit damage. But if you are going to have a defense amulet, these are the substats you want. You want accuracy, resistance, and HP. The fourth one is going to be something that you don't really need on a defense amulet, but that's okay because all your rolls are going to go into these 3 substats. So that's a really good one. So yeah, that you never know what you're going to get with these, and that's the problem with when we get gear for these Deck of Fate events. Some people, you know, do really well and get some really useful stuff, and some people get a whole bunch of those and get skunked. We will not I'm not even going to try to get all of these flipped. I'm just going to do as many as I can with the energy I have. You can see I don't have a lot of gems left. We've spent quite a bit of gems just doing the other events that we've been working on, and we've been working on 6-starring Ninja, and Ninja is almost ready to be 6-starred on the free-to-play. He is 6-starred now on the budget account. Budget account is just a little bit easier to play. More gems, more resources, and the Forge Pass makes things really nice. Let's go back in. So we can see we've got 250 points now. I could summon the Packmaster. You can see we've got 48 Drexthar fragments now. And the Packmaster, I could do it. Let's see where we are with the Void Summons. Once we're finished with Void Summons, I think that's when we'll make the decision as to whether or not to pull the Packmaster, if it's going to be worth our while or not. I'm not trying to be negative, but you can't count on getting, an epic or a legendary from 9 void shards, even on a 2x. There's only a 16% chance of getting an epic, even on a 2x weekend, and there's only a 1% chance of getting a legendary. And we know we're not even close to Mercy yet because we're early enough and we haven't pulled very many void shards, so that's not even a consideration. So let's see, however, what we can do. And I'm excited to see if we can get a man-eater. That would be beautiful. Or a renegade is really good. We didn't have a reset champion on this account. We did pull a Kymar on the budget account, but we didn't have a reset champion. And renegade is the only rare in the game. Well, not really the only rare, but we already have a Painkeeper. But renegade's reset can be useful for a seer, and we do have a seer on this account. So Renegade will probably slot into some of our teams, and she can be useful pretty early. You don't have to build her up too much to be able to make her useful for speed dungeon runs. So that's a really good one. Let's get a Cold Heart or a Man-Eater now. Let's do that. It is an epic, and there's lag, and it's a 2-Hack the Wanderer. Now, a lot of people don't like 2-Hack the Wanderer. He was one of my first Void epics on my main account, and I love 2-Hack the Wanderer. He does an AoE decrease speed, and he also does a 2-turn stun on this ability that also steals turn meter. It's a really good ability on that clever brutality ability, and this AoE decrease speed. It isn't the increased speed only goes on him, but it's a really good ability. And then he has this chance of putting a random skill on cooldown on his A1 on a single target, and then he has this passive where he decreases damage taken as his HP drops. He can kind of hold on and get through a fight this way and kind of gut it out. And I really like, and he's a good one that you may maybe put in Swift Parry or something like that. He really hits quite hard also. And with blessings and things like that. Yeah, really good epic. I really like 2-Hack the Wanderer. He's not the most versatile champion. You can't use him everywhere, but I still, on my main account, I use him all the time. He's still in my main Faction Wars team, and I use him in Cintranos quite a bit. The AoE decrease speed is really underrated. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, it's a dog. It's another Fellhound. That's a dupe. So we already have a Fellhound on this account. So it's just another Fellhound. That's maybe we build the Packmaster with 2 Fellhounds. I don't know. That's probably not a good idea, but you could, I guess. All right, what else? And it's a Cold Heart. Okay, this is successful. Here goes. This is Spider. This makes Spider easier. This makes Fire Knight easier. This makes Scarab Boss easier. Dark Fae makes easier. Everything gets easier now with a Cold Heart. Let's get another one. Or a Man-Eater. Hey, a Man-Eater is not too much to ask. We could, or a Demitha. Hey, how about a Demitha? Or the guy that we already have 4 copies of. Maybe that. Maybe we get the guy we already have. I think it's either 3 or 4 that we still. He was part of the fusion. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, especially me. That's par for the course here. And Tree Shield Knot is a very good champion. He's a reviver in the Sylvan Watchers faction, and he does. I think is it 2 random allies? Yeah, 2 random allies on his revive, and he's a very good champion. He's got some pretty good base stats for a rare, and and can be very useful. I just can't remember. I know we pulled him on one of these accounts. I can't remember which one though. I can't remember if it was this one or the budget, but we'll see. Oh, just getting a cold heart though, that is so huge. I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally would be. Arbalaster is part of the Broadmaw fusion, so we'll keep her in the vault in case we're able to pull some of the other champions for the Broadmaw fusion, just to be able to do another one. All right, another rare. It's a drowned bloat wraith. He actually does hit kind of hard for a rare, but he's not somebody that I would build or have been able to find a use for in the game where he has any value over the replacement. All right, last void, and then we'll do some souls. Another epic, a Battle Sage. Okay, Battle Sage has an AoE on her A1, and so a lot of people put her in a stun set or something like that. She used to be used in Hydra quite a bit. And then she has this increased attack that can't be removed. So you don't have to put her in a protection set, for example. And she can be used in Hydra, and she hits pretty hard. And then the other thing that she does, and this is actually kind of useful, and this is something I hadn't really thought about, she places Revive on Death on a target ally for 3 turns, and the ally will instantly revive if killed. I was just thinking that, she could be used, and one of the places you use Revive on Death a lot is in the Sand Devil. It's on a 4-turn cooldown when booked. I'm wondering if she could solo Sand Devil. It would be long. It would be a really long fight, but just to be able to get down to it, that might be something you could do. That's something I hadn't really considered about her before, but anybody with Revive on Death, I think that's possible for. And then she has speed in all battles by 19%. So that's a pretty good one. Let's go see where we landed on points. On Champ Chase points, we did get to the 50 coins and another Mortal Soulstone. So that's pretty respectable. We have 1,300. We would only be getting to 1,800 points if we pulled our Packmaster. And that would just get us an epic book. I'm not willing to pull him just for that. And we'll see how the weekend goes. We might be able to pick up some more Void Shards from Doom Tower, or maybe as Clan Boss rewards. You never know. That's looking at things optimistically. But I did want to pull these souls. 19 means we're going to have to pull 9 singles. But yeah, let's pull the souls just because I'm having a lot of fun flipping those cards in the Deck of Fate. I know we're not getting extra chances with this, but the accessories I do believe are worth pulling these, especially for an early game account where we're having trouble getting our stats up as it is. Let's do 110 pull and then do the 9 singles on the Mortals. Do I need to make myself a little smaller here? There's a mythical. Hey, it's a Lazarius. A 1-star Lazarius, but we have a 3-star Grunch and a 3-star Gallic behind me there. That's a little bit better. We do have Fellhound. I don't know that I already had one, but now we have a second Fellhound. We have a 1-star for a Maneater. That just rubs it in, doesn't it? That I don't have a Maneater. That's not good. And actually I might even buy it because I'm not buying souls right now, really in the market, in the Soul Merchant. I think I'm going to buy 3 more of these from the Immortals just to be able to get some more gear. We're not doing Iron Twins really very much yet. I've tested it a little bit and I can't get very high. It may be worth looking at again, but yeah, so let's do 6 more of these. That's just going to give us 6 more flips and give us 300 more coins here. Oh wait, I had 9 more to go. I'm gonna go back. There's a Magus. She's so funny. I keep getting plagued by Magus. If I'm not mistaken, Magus is part of the Rosin Scarhide fusion. So let's do these 9 mortals first, and then we'll do the other 5 immortals. It's confusing. It's either a dog or a dwarf. It's a dog. It's a Stitched Beast. Stitched Beast has a turn meter reduction on an A3. It's like on a 3-turn cooldown or something. But yeah, mostly kind of useless. I think I have seen people use him before. It's another rare. It's a 2-star Paragon. That could be useful someday. We've got an epic. It's a 1-star Seer from the wish list. I don't think we have a soul for Seer yet. So that's We may end up putting Crushing Rend on her just because it's the first hit that you want to do the most damage, and initially, you know, that's how you use a seer. She's not going to be doing a second hit on enemies, so most of the time I think Crushing Rend is the answer for her. You can see the wish list is working though. We've gotten a couple from the wish list. I think that's just luck. I don't think the wish list gives you that much of a chance. We just happen to have hit on these. Mostly just getting rares. A Wretch. An Epic. It's an Isla. I kind of like her. I use her on my main account sometimes in Centranos. She's got some interesting skills, but not too universally useful. A Horden. He kind of hits hard. All right, another rare. A Harvester. Reliquary Tender's Evil Twin. And I'd rather have a Reliquary Tender. And a Sylar. Sylar would have been a good pull today. You know what I should have done? Oh man, that was a missed opportunity. What I should have done was replaced Athel with Coldheart here in the wish list. Yeah, because we do have a Coldheart now, and we need blessings on her. I'm going to leave Painkeeper and Fellhound. Fellhound can stay in there. I think we're okay on the rest of these. All right, that's good. Yeah, we can awaken our Seer, just with 1 star, but it's better than nothing, and it does give her some stats early on. We don't have Seer 6-starred yet. Part of the reason for not 6-starring Seer yet was because I didn't have a suitable reset for her. It wasn't really urgent to get her into the mix of the dungeon runs yet, but I think that's probably going to be a viable thing now. Is right after we get Ninja 6-starred, I think that'll probably be the next order of business. So build up Renegade and Seer and see what we can do as far as speedrunning dungeons more. I think that'll be kind of fun. I'm not sure I can get the stats on Seer yet that I need. I can get buffs though because I do have a Mausoleum Mage, so buffs won't be a problem. And yeah, I have a Mausoleum Mage in a shield set. So if we put maybe a Renegade in a Divine set and a couple other champions in our dungeons in Divine sets, then we might be able to get enough damage on our Seer to make it work. All right, we have 5 Immortal Soulstones. This is going to give us a few more flips on the Deck of Fate. So here's the first one. An Epic. Oh, will you look at that? That tickles my... Yeah, that's great. It's a 5-star Taragi, which he's one of the main champions that we use for everything we do on this free-to-play account. So that's great. I love when the wish list pays off. That's a beautiful thing. All right, can we get that lucky again? Maybe. No? A Margrave. I've never built a Margrave before. He's a Sylvan Watcher, I think, if I remember right. There's a Skeleton, 4-star. And, you might think, well, you can sell those. It's just the return isn't very high on those when you sell them back. There's an Andrisia, 3-star. Not one we even have. Okay, one more Immortal. Let's make it a juicy one. Let's get a Ninja, 6-star Ninja. That would be a 0.0003% chance. Ooh, 5-star Shamail. Wow, if we had a Shamail, that would be a great one. That's a great one. We pulled souls for a couple of champions that we would have really liked to have pulled today. Let's awaken our Taragi. Oh, that's exciting. And we didn't have a soul on him at all. I think I have a 2-star on him on the budget account. But yeah, no soul at all yet. Oh yeah, this is going to help in Clan Boss. It's going to help. I mean, everywhere he's used, it's going to help. But yeah, that's going to make a significant difference. Gives him a lot of stats. Yeah, Coldheart makes the entire shard pull session worthwhile on that one. All right, let's go over to the budget account. And let's do our 2 prisms first. Like I said, we were able to get the 2 prisms on the budget. We had more gems, and I felt more comfortable using more gems to buy energy to be able to complete the dungeon divers on that one. All right, let's see what we get from these lizard men. Prism 1. What do we have? Prism 1, it's an epic, and it's a Delaja. The good news about a Delaja is she's in the Mikage fusion, and so can't be upset about that. If I haven't built one of her, but I have seen some testing on her, and she does hit pretty hard. She's just, there's a lot of champs that hit hard, but she is an HP based champion. See, her damage there on her skills is based on HP, and she's a good protector. I mean, I think she's a decent epic champion. It's just you don't feel too bad about using her for the Mikage fusion. It's not a dilemma at all when you go for your Mikage. All right, one more prism. One more. We're gonna get a legendary. We're gonna get a Legate Teox. No, we're gonna get a Broodlord. Broodlord's kind of interesting. He does some decreased speed stuff when he's attacked or when allies under his ally protection are attacked on this passive. The enemy that attacked has a chance of getting decreased speed put on them. It goes up to 45%, maybe 50% with sniper. And then when he attacks with this, he has a chance to stun enemies under decreased speed. The problem is you're probably not going to use him too much with wave-based content, but he can do some control, and he does have a provoke on his A1. There are a couple of floors in Centranos where he can be useful because he fits into Lizardmen defense based champions. So he can be useful in a couple of those places, but you'd probably be playing for quite a while before he becomes a priority to build for that content. All right, so we got skunked on that one a little bit, but that's okay because when we look at the Mikage fusion here, see that gives us our first epic here toward the Kira the Watcher. And so any of these epics down here, so we have a Lady Quillen that we did pull from a prism a few weeks ago, and now we have a Delaja. Without these prisms, we wouldn't have either of those two, and that's a little bit of boost before, maybe to build our Mikage. I don't know that we'll be able to get to doing the Mikage in the first year of playing these two accounts for this experiment, but, hopefully if I give these two accounts away at the end, maybe it'll be close enough that it'll help the next person who takes them over. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Nothing's set in stone on that yet, but let's go into our Void Shards. We only have 7 Void Shards. We've been a little luckier on Clan Boss on the free-to-play than we have on the budget account for getting Void Shards from the Clan Boss, but we have 7, so let's go ahead and pull them and see what we get. So now, on the Champ Chase, we have 500 points now, for sure. So let's just see how far we can get. If we get some crazy luck, maybe we'll get a legendary and solve all of our problems. But a man-eater would be beautiful. A cold heart, if we had a cold heart on both accounts, I would not be upset about that. Ifrit, I don't find Ifrit very interesting. An Ashwalker, there are certain people playing the game who find this champion interesting. I've never built one, but I know he does hit pretty hard. I guess for a rare, he hits hard. He just probably won't become a priority for us. But our Knight's Revenant is a little bit sketchy, so we might be using him a little bit just for Faction Wars. And a Rock Beast. Rock Beast is part of the fusion for Broadmaw also, so we'll hang on to him in case we want to fuse a Broadmaw. Depending on what else we can pull here. Draconis. I actually like Draconis. He's a HP based champion in Sacred Order, and he's pretty survivable and can kind of help a team stay alive. And he's kind of the only rare that I use in Faction Wars on my main account, just because I never had built an Ethel. And so, but because we have an Ethel on this account, Draconis probably won't get built. But I actually kind of like him. It's personal bias, but there it is. And an epic. Oh, good. Okay, so Urgrim is very, very good. He can solo some content. He's a good poisoner. He's a good cleanser. He's a good healer. He's very good for Ogren Tribe's Faction Wars. He has a speed in all battles by 20%, and he does poisons and continuous heal. He's a less effective Bad Alcazar kind of. He doesn't do a full team cleanse, but he does a single target cleanse on one of the champions on your team, and he heals them by 40% of their max HP. So it's a pretty good heal, and he has a pretty decent chance of getting poisons on his A1. So he can kind of protect your team. does quite a few continuous heals. Continuous heals aren't always the best to use because there are some bosses in the game that do more damage based on buffs, or they steal buffs from you or something. But Urgrim's a very good epic champion in the Ogryn Tribes faction. So yeah, I'm happy about that one. He's not Man-Eater. He's not Coldheart. But he is good. He is good, and he's what do we? Yes, we. I didn't. This is crazy. I didn't even mention the fact that we have a 10 times for Cardiel, because it's like, well, he's 10 times. But we got a Cardiel. We have a Cardiel on the budget account. Cardiel, he can, especially this early, he can literally be used everywhere. He's so good. Yeah, ally attack. He has a heal every time he does his A1. He has a full cleanse with block debuffs. He's so good. Oh, he's a great champion. And then this passive of his, allies receive 20% less damage from champions from Demon Spawn, Undead Hordes, or Knights Revenant factions. Whenever an ally joins an attack, whenever an ally attacks, he has a 15% chance to join in their attack. Okay, so and you can build him to do quite a bit of damage. He hits really hard. Yeah, and he's not a nuker, but he can hit really hard. And then if you've got a Sissy, a Flame Tongue, he always joins the attack. We don't, but he can only join an ally attack once per turn. Cardiel will not team up on ally attacks when they counterattack or are teaming up to attack with another champion. So if you have another ally attacker, for example, he won't join that. But yeah, and these speed in all battles by 19%. He's really good. I mean, really literally everywhere in the game. I can't think of a place where he can't be at least useful. That's crazy. And he's one of the coolest looking, Some people don't like the way he looks because I think they had a bad experience when they were young or something, maybe with a high school bully or something like that. But yeah, he's a really cool, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but he's just a really cool champion. He does a lot of really great things. I mean, Sacred Order is solved now. I mean, this just so crazy. Like I said, didn't even mention that we were having a 10 times, but yeah, Cardiel's on the 10 times this weekend. Now, just because I pulled a Cardiel on this budget account doesn't mean that you're going to have good luck too. So don't take that as a sign that you should pull all your Void Shards. But I'm very happy about this. It's going to be really useful for the budget account. Let's see what we get on the last one. Let's get a Coldheart or a Man-Eater, because I really need something to make an unkillable clan boss team. Painsmith. Okay, so Painsmith hits pretty hard, and he has a block revive on one of his skills. Yeah, it's his A2. Utter Destruction, it's called. It attacks one enemy. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Places block debuffs on this champion for 2 turns if the attack kills an enemy. So you can actually build him, if you've got really good gear, you can build him to hit really hard. I think early game you could sneak up on some people with this one, but I don't know. I've never thought it was, you're using resources to build this champion when you could be putting him into something that's maybe more useful long term. So I don't know that it's a great idea, but he does actually hit really hard with this skill, and it does have a block revive, which can be very useful in arena. So yeah, he's interesting, and he looks cool too. I mean, he just looks like he's had a really hard life, and he's just always been the toughest little dwarf, and and he's ready to go out and crack some skulls, and I just love that. He's very cool. He attacks one enemy, his damage increases by 15% if the target has no active buffs. So you want to use him with somebody, maybe a buff strip or something like that. And then he has attack in dungeons by 21%, which isn't the most, his aura being attack in dungeons doesn't really go with the rest of his skill kit, because the block revive is mostly useful in arena, unless maybe you're doing a faction war stage where you have a reviver or a Torment or something like that. So he could be somewhat useful, but yeah, he's probably not going to become a priority on any of my teams. All right, so I can't even believe this. We've got a Cardiel on the budget account. It's fantastic. 1750. So we have 1750 points on the champ chase. That's probably not going to be, that doesn't tempt me to pull the Packmaster on this one either, I don't think. because it only gets us a little closer to the legendary tome, and it doesn't even get us that. So we do need the legendary tomes. I mean, we're building a Zavia, we're building a Ninja, and now we've got a Cardiel to build. It's going to be a while before we have all 3 of those champions booked. But then to pull a Packmaster and then add that one to the mix, it's just too many legendaries at once. I think we can very safely focus on the champions that we have now, and we've got a Cardiel, we've got a Zavia, we've got a Ninja, and Chronicler Adeline has been good, and the 5-star blessing on her is really clutch. But you can see we've been working on masteries, and we, like I said before, we've got Ninja 6-starred. I don't have enough potions. I've got to do a lot of potion farming, and we've got a lot of building to do. So some of that is, and frankly, some of that has been time. On my part, I've been a little under the weather the last few days, and it's been kind of hard to focus on this. And it's not a physically taxing game, but just mentally, I've just been struggling to stay focused. So I'm gonna pull a 10 pull of mortals, and then I'll pull 9 single mortals, and let's flip some more Deck of Fate cards. That was a fast pull. Sorry. I still have Taragi on the wish list. You know what? Let's do, before I go any further. The Taragi is going to be a sell because we already, like I showed you before, we already have a 4-star on him. So let's add Cardiel. We'll take out. Ooh, do we do Kymar? I think the Soul would actually be more useful for Zavia than Kymar right now. Kymar really works, the Soul. I'm not saying the Soul wouldn't be useful for Kymar, but I think it would be more useful right now for Zavia. Kymar's going to do his job. Look at the legendaries that we have pulled. This is pretty incredible. For an account like this, we're almost at 3 months, and we've already pulled a Void Legendary, a Cardiel, we pulled a Kymar, and we pulled a Zavia from Shards, and then we got 2 free ones that are very good champions. I didn't think the RNG would go that well for us. All right, I think we can leave those like that. All right, so let's pull our 9 singles with our updated wish list. First one, Crimson Slayer, 3-star. Spikehead, part of the Rosin fusion. We will not be awakening a Spikehead. Not really too much reason. Doom Screech, if we ever pull a Doom Screech. Yeah, Doom Screech he can be kind of good, but he's kind of lost. He's been power crept by quite a bit. Nazana, she's just an okay epic, in my opinion. I'm sure someone would argue with that. Madman used to be a great rare, now is kind of not a very useful rare to build. Another epic, Andalia. Oh, sorry, I thought it was Andrissi. We got an Andrissi on the other account, now an Andalia on this one. All right, another one, and it's a rare, a Flesh Eater, the Eater of the Flesh, and a Sentinel. We do have a Sentinel on this account. I can't remember. I think we already had a soul for him, but I'll check and make sure. Of course I'll check and make sure. And it's a dog or a dwarf. It's a dwarf. It's a Melga. We don't have a Melga that I'm aware of. Yeah, and our Sentinel, we have 2 Sentinels, but neither of them have a blessing. So we got a Cold Heart on the free to play, which is great. We got a Cardiel on the budget, and so I can't complain. I'm not going to complain. Let's pull these 3 Immortals, see what we have. First one's an epic. It's an Oboro. That's a nice soul. If we can ever pull an Oboro, that would be a really good one. 4-star. 4-star's not the best, but yeah, Oboro's a very good champion. She's found a lot of places to be useful in the game. And there's an Adjudicator. She adjudicates things. Oh yeah. All right, one more Immortal, and then we're off to the main account. And it's another rare, A 5-star Fury Stoker, Stoking Fury. All right, let's go pull that one more. I know, it's back and forth. Let's pull one more Immortal. Let's get really lucky. Let's get a 6-star Cardiel on this one. How about that? That would be nice. It's a little bit more of a chance on this one. No, it's an epic. Ooh, okay. That makes things a little more interesting. Does Slixus become an AoE nuker that's worth building if he has a 5-star soul? That's a question. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is Slixus worth building knowing that you have a 5-star soul to put on him? Or does it just not matter unless it's a 6-star so you can put Crushing Rend? I don't know. I think, a 5-star gives you a lot of stats. He at least will become our main nuker for Lizardmen and anywhere where we can, use a void. So that's interesting. I kind of am leaning toward the direction of making Zavia our nuker for right now because of her 2 AoEs. But Slixus might become, he might become important. All right, so that gives us one more card flip here in our deck of fate. What's that one? 40 more serpent points, or 40 more serpent coins. So that puts us up at 810. That puts us pretty close to a Void Shard. So, if we work a little harder, we might be able to get the Void Shard on both accounts. So before the weekend is over, we might be able to do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel the rest of the weekend, but if I do pull any more shards or souls, I will at least record it. So we'll see what happens. If you have no interest in what I'm doing on the main account, which I wouldn't blame you if you did, you watch this for the experiment, and that's why I'm making the videos. I just thought since I'm here and I'm doing it, I thought I'd just record what I'm doing on my main account. But, so like I said, if you're not interested in that at all, I thank you for watching up to this point. I appreciate you. And if you are still watching and this is interesting to you, I will go over to my main account now. I put a red border around it just to avoid some confusion. I do have the 2 prisms to pull on this one. And I'm also going to pull 2 remnants. I have 2 remnant summons too. So yeah, let's see what we can get from the Lizardmen. I'm really hoping. I mean, I have a lot of the really good Lizardmen legendaries. I would love to have the Legate Teox on this account. It would be so great. It would change everything that I'm doing in Hydra. So yeah, that's kind of the goal here. But isn't it for everybody? Everybody would love that champion. I got another Basilisk. Maybe I can +1 my Basilisk, make him a little bit tougher. I actually do use Basilisk a little bit too, so that's okay. Let's get a legendary. Come on. Oh. All right, another Broodlord. Okay. Yeah, I actually have 6-star Broodlord on this count. I don't use him though. I have used him a little bit on Cintranos, but yeah, I don't use him regularly. All right, let's do the remnants. 2 remnant summons. We're at a 2.5% for mythicals and 82.5% for epics. I don't want to predict anything, but yeah, you could just. I mean, you also have the chance of getting void epics on these remnants, so they're pretty good shards. It's just and this gives us a really good chance of this gives us one of our best chances of getting a mythical. It's just we don't have enough volume to really give us a good chance. So, all right, let's see what we get out of the first one. It's an epic, 82.5% chance of getting an epic. Sepulchre Sentinel. She's a good champion. I just never built her on my main account because I pulled her later. I never got her early, so I never was able to use her in Clan Boss and kind of see what you normally do with her. That's the Oh, really? We got a Geralt. Okay. Wow. I'm sorry, that one took me by surprise. I was not expecting to get a mythical on this account. So she's HP based in her base form from the Orc faction, and then her mythical form is attack. Okay, yeah, so I was confused about the which form it was. I didn't realize that her base form was a HP form, and it was more of a protection type form. I was not expecting to get a mythical. That's huge, because that's huge points for the champ chase also, isn't it? We're at 1750 and we haven't pulled any void shards yet. So let's pull some void shards. You can see also I've already pulled a lot of my souls because I'm doing the deck. Yeah, I'm doing quite a bit of this deck of fate. So I'm still doing some champ training for this deck of fate, but I've pulled all of my soul stones, but just because those protection and stone skin accessories are just so hard to come by. You know, you have to win a lot of Hydra battles to get those, and a lot of times, you know, you want to get as many of them as you can, just because you never know if they're going to be, if the stats are going to be good on them or not. So, all right, let's pull some void shards. I'm going to pull 9 singles just to see what we get out of 9. On a 2 times, you know, I do have a Cardial on this account. If we pulled a Duke Cardial, it would just go into Faction Guardians. I'm not at the point where I'm +1ing, you know, any legendaries. There's a Rowan. Rowan puts up quite a few poisons. She hits pretty hard too. She has been historically used as clan boss damage, but I haven't seen that for quite a while. There's a Chevalier. And another rare. It's a Teryx. Okay. Teryx is a popular one tonight. Maybe it's a shadow boost for Teryx. Ox. There's like 3 versions of Ox in the Barbarians. Another Ashwalker. Centurion. I think if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Centurion is part of the Mikage fusion also. So yeah, watch out for him. I could be wrong about that. Scrapper. Scrappy Doo. Let's see. 2 more and then I'll do another. Then I'll do a 10 pull or something. Cage Bound. I don't think we're close on Mercy. I haven't been keeping track. Veteran. I like Veteran. Veteran's my favorite. Veteran's my favorite rare in the Orcs faction. Okay, let's do a 10 pull on Voids. I am trying to get to the 150 coins for the Serpent Titan event. So I'll do 1 10 pull here, see what we get. It's exciting. It's a rare. It's another rare. Bloodhorn can be used in the fusion for Broadmaw, so that can feed into some things. But that's a lot of rares on a 2 times. Why? That's a 10 pull of rares. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. I mean, they're food. You know, that's the bright side. Looking on the bright side, that's food for champ training. But yeah, that's not exciting at all. That's painful. Payne Smith brought the pain today. But yeah, Bloodhorn, I always save the Bloodhorns, and I always save the other one. Okay, I'm going to do another 10 pull, because that didn't give us enough points. Oh, man. More rares. That's 3 more. That's 4. 15. Okay, finally. We got another Whisper. That's good. I'm going to empower my Whisper. But, wow. Yeah, we went 2 10 pulls, 19 of 20 being rares. So that shows you. That really does show you what can happen. Now, this would be very exciting. You know, this 10 pull would be extremely exciting for most early game, even mid-game accounts. You know, a Cold Heart, a Painkeeper, a Whisper. Whisper's one of the best damage, you know, single target hitters in the game. She's good. She's my main damage in my 3rd Hydra team, and does, you know, hellacious amounts of damage. Very, very good. But yeah, that's not. Wow, that was painful. So many rares. So we did get the legendary book. We were at 3,800. We are at 3,800 points. I'd like to get a few more. I'd like to get at least up to these coins. Then we can see what will happen for the rest of the weekend. But yeah, I'd really like to get those 4,200 points. But we are 400 points away, and that's a legendary. But it's only, you know, it's only a couple of epics out of a 10 pull. So I'm empowering my Whisper here. She's at +2 now, so this will be a +3 for her. So what do you get for +3? More HP, attack, defense, resistance, and accuracy. I actually do use the accuracy on her because sometimes I like to target her A1 to, you know, one of the Hydra heads that doesn't have the weaken on it. So it's going to add something to her, and a little bit more survivability can't hurt with Whisper. Although I have to run her in a team that has a reviver, because sometimes, I put it on semi-auto, and sometimes we hit into reflect damage, and obviously that kills her because she does so much damage. So, but this, a little more survivability gets us closer to the +4, which, that's what you want, is the +4. So let's get another, we can get another 10 pull here and hopefully get that. Okay, do I dare do this again? Do I dare do this again? Let's see. Let's see. What another 10 pull. I looked at my ancient shards and I thought it was my voids, and I was like, 14. I only have 14. Okay, so we just went 19 for 20, all rares. We had one epic, and I was able to +3 my Whisper with that. But yeah, that's a really disappointing set of shard pulls on a 2x weekend. I think that means we're due. If I pull another 10 pull, I think that means that we're going to get something really, really good out of this. Right? Aren't we due? Let's do one 10 pull. This is for the ages. This is going to be the best void 10 pull ever. Or it's just going to be a bunch more rares that I can't really use or wouldn't use. There's a Weregrin Suncursed. He's part of the Mikage fusion also. Okay, we got 2 epics, Runekeeper Dazdirk. Okay, that's the Weregrin Suncursed. I actually don't have a copy of him anymore. I think I fed it into the Mikage fusion. I don't think, so I think that's a unique one for me. But I don't plan on building him on this account. All right, let's see what that gave us. That gave us 500 or 650 points. That puts us at the 150 serpent coins. So that's where we need it to be. So I'm not going to complain anymore. That'll be the end of the void shard pulls for right now. And that gives us a chance to get close to this legendary book. As the weekend progresses, we'll see how far. Although it would be really nice to get the mythical tome, just because now I have another mythical champion to build. Another mythical to build. That is crazy. I can't complain. I can't complain on this account either. I got another mythical. It's a Giral. It's the only mythical in the Orcs faction so far, and she's very good. I've seen her used really well, and she does have some really hard hits. Let's flip our cards. We've gotten a lot further now on the Serpent Titan event. Looks like, it shouldn't be too big of a problem for this account, for my main account, to be able to collect the Mithrala, the 5-star, and that was my goal. I do spend a little bit on this account. I don't spend a lot. I mostly just buy the daily gem pack. I have bought a couple of energy packs over the last couple of months just to be able to keep up, but really nothing more than that. Daily gem pack is that's my most regular expense, and then I still haven't purchased a Forge Pass on this account yet. That would be a first. So it's a very low spend account. But I've been playing for more than 3.5 years, so it's pretty well into end game. I still haven't finished a Centranos yet. I haven't been able to complete Soul Crossed yet on any of the Centranos rotations, but I'm working on it. I'm getting closer and closer every month. So I have a couple of flips I can do here. Let's do. Broke my streak of greens. And there's another one. Okay, so a couple more flips. And I'm just going to keep doing some more champ training to get some more flips on that, and almost 6 more days for the Serpent Titan event. So it looks like I'm in a good position on this account. So I'm pretty much getting what I want. I can't complain. Listen, I got a mythical champion that I didn't have. I got a very good mythical champion. I don't remember if I have a soul for her. I do. I have a 5-star soul for a Giral. That's interesting. Wow, I didn't even realize that I had that. That's great. Yeah, 5-star soul for Giral. So on my main account, I'm happy with that. The rates on the voids were not good. That was 3 really bad 10 pulls. But it helps us with food for the champ training so that we can flip some more cards, and getting a mythical, things kind of even out. In some ways we got what we wanted, in others we did not. But But yeah, on the budget account, just as a review, we got a cardiel, and I definitely can't complain about that. And then on the free to play, we pulled a cold heart, and that's huge. Pulling a cold heart is epic. Not epic, it's legendary. Cold heart is pretty much a legendary. If not for her base stats, Cold Heart would be a legendary in a rare skin. Her base stats are a little tough. You have to have really good gear to get her to play like a legendary champion, but her skills are very legendary-esque, and that's the main thing with Cold Heart. And you know, I have 4 of them built, and I use 4 of them on my main account. And yeah, she's just a great champion to have, and so I will be building her very soon. We have a lot to do on both the experiment accounts, on the budget and on the free to play, and I will be taking care of things. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do another update this weekend, but if I do more void shard pulls, I will be recording it, and I will be posting it. It just might take me a little while. Just yeah, and you know, and I'm sure everybody knows by now we're almost 2 days into the free gear removal, so we've got about 3 days left on the free gear removal. So yeah, take advantage of that. Get as much as you can done with that if it's convenient for you. And I apologize for a little bit of an absence, more than normal, but I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to get back into it, and before you know it, we'll be building a cardiel on the budget account and a cold heart on the free to play, and that's really exciting. Probably really can't ask for too much more than that. We had some pretty good RNG today. So listen, let me know what you got. I hope you had really good luck on your shard pulls if you did any. But yeah, let everybody know in the comments what you were able to pull and how you're progressing. If you're doing the Titan event for Mithrala, have you been able to keep up? Has it been a tough one? That was the question. To me, this has been kind of a tough one. I think they're all pretty taxing when it comes to resources and time. You know, you put a lot into these Titan events, and hopefully the I think the 5-star Mithrala is worthwhile. I don't want to jeopardize being able to do the next fusion. That's why I'm not really going for the 5-star. In fact, I think I'm pretty much done on both of these experiment accounts. I may just participate in events just because it goes along with whatever I'm building. Mostly, I think I'm just going to be happy with the 3-star and then see what other rewards we can get on that 4th tier. But yeah, things are going well. I hope you're well. I hope you haven't caught this bug that I have. Don't stand too close to your device. Wash your hands. I don't know how science works, but I don't think I'm contagious that way, but you can never be too safe. So take precautions, keep your hands clean. Don't get this from me. Oh, check this out. We got a legendary book on the free to play here. Hopefully this is a good chest. No, it's not. But yeah, legendary book on the free to play today with the nightmare key. So with our nightmare keys and an ancient shard. So no void shard there, but I'm going to get this nightmare clan boss key going. And I'm going to say thank you for your kind attention and all other kinds of attention. I'm going to go get some rest. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.